Hi everyone. Stocks decided to go ahead and pull back this Wednesday. However, overall, the pullback was healthy. We were down 15 points in the day on the NASDAQ, down 0.41%. Volume was lower than the day before, so overall, it wasn't a technical distribution day. On top of that, the Russell 2000 was down 0.40%. Volume, even though you can't see it here, was also lower than the session before, in an overall tight, narrow trading session. These two markets kind of led the day overall on a relative strength basis, and that's excellent. As you can see, the relative strength line of the Nasdaq compared to the Russell or S&P 500 is hitting a new high. But even if we go look at the S&P 500, you can see volume is lower than the day before. And so overall, actually it shows it a little bit heavier here, but let's just call it flat. On IBD, I have it lower. So on this, on Telechart, it's now a little bit higher, but relatively it's flat. And still overall, we're holding the recent lows and we're above the 50-day moving average. Overall, healthy pullback. The Dow Jones Industrial Average actually had the worst of it today, down 0.73%, but still volume was way below average. And as you can see, we're still holding the 50-day moving average, and then we're also holding the recent lows here. So we have support and the 50-day moving average right there. So the bottom line is that there's no reason to call a top now. Are there things to be worried about? Sure. On top of this, today I had three inverse ETFs, inverse leveraged ETFs, produce some pretty strong signals, and this is the first of the bunch. As really there isn't a whole lot yet, but this is the first kind of like moments. SOXS, semiconductor short, a 3 times position, double I guess. I'm not actually sure. Anyway, whatever. You can see that it's making a pocket pivot point buy signal off the lows. Also to go with that is SDOW, ultra short Dow 30. As you can see, volume is above average, and you can see how it kind of looks like it's trying to hammer out a low here, so another one to keep an eye on. And then DRV, this is the real estate 3 times share bear, Direxion Daily close-end fund, and you can see that after a very quiet consolidation off the recent lows, there's a heavier volume move here that was preceded by a pocket pivot point buy signal, and that follows the bullish action from May into June on heavy volume. So this is just something to look at for right now and to keep in mind, on top of the fact that we just had our 6th Hindenburg omen in 8 trading sessions, and overall we've had quite a few recently, and the last time we've had this many omens was in 2000 and 2007. However, I want to make it very clear that individually, stocks do not look anywhere like they did, leading stocks, mind you, look anywhere like they did in 2007. If you don't believe me, I believe if you are still a subscriber to realmoney.com, you can go back and even read the old articles posted there, or you can go through the archives on this website around the 2007 top and clearly see that leading stocks were getting quite climactic, if not parabolic. And then on top of that, also, going back to 2000, we all know how parabolic those internet stocks were at the late stages of the 2099 to 2000 rally. There are obviously zero charts out there that look like 2000, and very, very few charts that look like 2007. And if we are near there, it still looks like we would need another whole nother leg higher to get to those 2007. And the 2000 charts, that's just going to take a 100% move in 6 months to get it there, and I don't see a catalyst for that. That's something you only see every 80 years. It's just something. It takes a major technology revolution to make a market move like that. But so the bottom line is, Hindenburg omens, yes. 2000, 2007, yes, we've seen them before, but this time the individual stocks don't necessarily confirm it. So who's to say that this many Hindenburg omens in such a short amount of time isn't the inverse correlation of what you would expect, and it's a black swan moment, and instead of it being extremely bearish, it's instead instead, excuse me, extremely bullish, and we are going to rally 100% in 6 months. So anything's possible in the world. You should be very open-minded and agnostic as a stock trader, just knowing that anything can happen. Because when you look at stocks like Cree today or Macy's, you can see that anything can happen. Some nasty, nasty, nasty moves. But at the same time, one of our longs, Wage, look, a very powerful move higher. So it's still a very, very mixed market. Now, on top of that, we did have some weakness today. DGI is going to be a 50% sell here for me because it's still above the low a day of the signal date. So I'm not going to fully sell. You can if you want, though. I don't care. Do whatever you feel you have to do if it's according to your methodology. NWY, a lower volume close below the recent support levels. It's also still above the low a day of the signal day. And since it was on lower volume, it's only going to be a 50% to 75% sell. If it was on heavier volume, it would be 100% no doubt. And then SMI is also a 50% sell. But once again, why isn't it 100% sell? Didn't yesterday I just say if it closed below 390, it's 100% sell? Well, yeah. However, the day before, you noticed a huge intraday reversal. You noticed a strong close. And once again today, it basically closed where it opened. And also it has a bullish intraday tail. Still has the max green bop. And volume was below average. To me, it still looks like it's consolidating sideways. So I'm only going to make it a 50% sell. If you want to make it 75%, fine. If 100%, fine, as long as it's according to your rules. This is where a little bit of discretionary is involved in the trading as we are in an uptrend. If volume was above average today and the 389 close was more towards 387 or the low a day per se, then yeah, 100% sell. And then the other one is BX 2250. If you look at the signal date, 2250 is below the 2251 low a day. However, once again, it's only by a penny. And recently we had this kind of, it looked like a support day where the low became 2243. So once again, I'm using 2243 as my ultimate low to fully get out of this one. Still, this move lower here on heavier volume, it's a 75% sell. Now let's say DGI, NWI, SMI, and BX close down tomorrow. They're all going to be sells. There are no new longs. There are no new shorts. The ones that look like they could be longs, VPRT and PPC. Whenever I look at a monthly arithmetic chart, there's a weekly actually of PPC, and I look at VPRT. Both aren't necessarily in long enough bases for me to want to go long a move here in such short tight consolidations. This isn't even a 3-week tight base there, and on PPC it's a 2-week tight base, but still the 200-day moving average is pretty far away and it's in a long uptrend already. So I'll go ahead and pass, but you can feel free to do whatever you want. Also, win was a possibility, and PTNR, pass on both.